G'day folks, Bobby here, aka TheNoobKarter, and this is what my noggin looks like. Today we're going to be looking at karting gear. I know we've done a video about this previously, but I wanted to do more of a deep dive into the main purpose of each bit of gear, things to look out for if you're looking at purchasing it, and maybe some cheaper alternatives that could help you out. It's really hot today, maybe 35-36 degrees Celsius. I'm sweating, so if you see it, I'm not melting. Well, maybe I am melting. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. Maybe I'll put a little graphic up to show what it is. Maybe I'll put it here, maybe here. We'll see. Those who are returning to the channel will see that a few changes have been made. One, my face is on your screen instead of just some karting footage. Two, I do have a different logo now. And three, I've purchased a new GoPro Hero 7 Black. It's got image stabilization, GPS data, so I can have the speed and the map up in the corner there. Wackadoo, it looks so much better. Stick around to the end of this video and you can see even more footage from this new setup. These are changes I wanted to make, but wasn't able to until I set something up where I could film. I will still be doing some karting and showing karting footage, but that's going to be more focused around the karting events I go to, hopefully making that a bit more special. I'm hoping to maybe do some more of these type of things, talking to the camera, talking to you personally sort of style videos. Also maybe a few reaction videos of like karting crashes or cool karting laps or cool karting things. We'll see how we go. So the first bit of karting gear we're going to talk about is the Karting Suit. The Karting Suit's main purpose is to provide protection against abrasions. So most of them are abrasion resistant. The main reason for a karting suit is to hopefully stop you from getting some really bad gravel rash if you ever jettison or ejected from the kart.
At rental karting speeds, I don't feel a suit is really worth it. But if you're in a faster kart like a shifter kart and you're attached to your skin, then they're a definite must. Just as a note, when looking for a suit, make sure they're made from something like Cordura or some other abrasion resistant material.
If you find a suit but it's made of Nolex, then it is fire resistant but not abrasion resistant. That would be a more general automotive suit. So something you would use in touring cars or something like that. They are fire resistant because you're more likely to get stuck within the chassis and not be able to get out. Whereas karting, most likely you're going to be able to get out. And your main injury might come from either another kart mounting your kart or getting jettisoned from the kart. So that's why looking for something that's kart specific and abrasion resistant is the most important thing. The second item on our list is going to be rib protectors. Now the main reason for wearing rib protectors is to lessen the injury to your torso in the case of a major accident. They also have the added benefit of stopping bumps and bruises and swelling that might happen in a long session of karting. While this might be a secondary thing, it is still great value. So most rib protectors are made from high impact foam and then a hard casing to give it rigidity. Now that casing might be made out of Kevlar or fiberglass or plastic or something along those lines.
There's even a few that have shoulder protection built in, so that if your kart is mounted by another kart, you're less likely to suffer shoulder injuries. After a bit of research, my personal preference for when I get one will be a Bengio bumper, like this one.
Next, we're going to be talking about karting shoes or karting boots. Now, these don't provide any extra protection over a normal sport shoe or closed-in shoe.
Their main role is to give a solid and slip-free connection between your feet and the kart. They're thin-soled and flexible, so you can feel the communication of the kart through your feet. The sole is flat and grippy, so your feet don't slip off the pedals. The grip of the shoe rolls up the heel smoothly to give more grip and ensure that you can smoothly apply pressure to brake and accelerator pedals. Karting boots would be a great addition to any karting kit.
If you are looking for an alternative that is a little bit more budget friendly, think about wrestling shoes.
Like these Asics Snap-Down 2s.
They are pretty much the same design, they're light, they've got a thin sole, they even got the heel grip that goes up the back. Now here in Australia, karting boots go for about $150 Australian. Now wrestling shoes go for about 90 to 100 Australian, so you are saving about 30%, which I think is a great deal. And if you get into a fight with another driver, you're all set. The next item on the list is going to be the neck brace. There's a lot of commentary around at the moment as to whether neck braces are even worth having. Now, my local track, they are a requirement to be able to race. So I've got one myself, mostly so I don't have to wear their sweaty, stinky ones at the track. There hasn't been a lot of study done to whether the neck brace actually does anything or helps anything in karting. There has been at least one study done within motocross over a 10-year period. The data is quite compelling, but not completely conclusive that it is the actual neck brace that is the causality of the difference in data. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the data now.
Over a 10-year period, in total there was 8,529 incidents that were reported. Now these incidents were reported by a team that provided emergency medical attention to people that were in a crash. Of those 8,529, 4,726 had no neck brace. 3,803 had neck braces. That's about 55% that didn't have neck braces to 45% that did. Of the total amount of people that were in an incident, about 3% received critical cervical neck injuries. So that was about 265 people total. 239 of those had no neck brace. Only 26 had a neck brace. You would think if the neck brace did nothing, these numbers would be a lot more normalized. As it stands, about 5% of people that didn't have a neck brace and were in an incident received a critical cervical neck injury, whereas only less than 1% of people that did have neck braces got the same injuries. Basically, 90% of all the people that received critical cervical neck injuries didn't wear a brace, whereas only 9.8% did. If we have a look at non-critical injuries as well, we have a total of about 811 people getting non-critical neck injuries. 702 of those, or about 86%, weren't wearing neck braces. 109, or about 13.4%, were wearing neck braces. Again, if neck braces did nothing, you'd think those numbers would be a lot closer together.
Like I said, that data is quite compelling, but whether the neck brace is actually the causality of those differences remains to be seen. There's no specific study that shows an exact causality for those differences, so if someone wants to do it, that would be awesome. I did look into a study that was done here in Australia that looked at the specific injuries that happened within karting Australia-wide over a 1-year period to see if there's any correlation between the types of injuries. I did apply for the results of that, but unfortunately haven't been supplied them as yet. The next bit of karting gear is karting gloves. Now I've got myself some entry-level OMP gloves here. They've got a bit of a suede type material on the front to give them a little bit more grip, and they've got a flexible back on them. Most karting gloves will be made with the flexible back with either a suede type or a rubber type grip on the palms. Like karting boots, they don't add a ton of extra protection, but they do give you more control over the wheel. My first time karting in a long stint, I had no gloves on. I got a blister, my hands were slippery because of sweat, and I had a real tough time controlling the kart. There was some other things going on as well, like the helmet that was supplied from the track was slipping down, so I had very bad visibility with that. But the main thing was my hands were slipping. These gloves have been a godsend, so I bought these and have never looked back. Having them on has stopped me death gripping the wheel so hard, and it means that I don't have to grip so hard and still feel like I'm in control and got good grip of the wheel. It also, because of just a little bit of extra cushioning and protection, has stopped the blisters. If I'm looking to upgrade at any point, I'm most likely going to go for some -273 gloves. And last thing on the list is the helmet.
Your prospects in life can take a pretty big hit if you get sconed in the melon. So spend as much as you can afford on protecting your noodle. Find a helmet that fits snug enough not to move around, but not so firm that it's uncomfortable to wear. Also consider ventilation when choosing a helmet. You want to make sure there's enough airflow at karting speeds that the visor doesn't fog up. Often people wear motorbike helmets when karting, but be aware, the ventilation in those is set up for much faster speeds that most people will reach in a rental kart. So if you're looking for rental kart specifically, make sure you got lots of ventilation.
As promised, here's some more footage from that same session. This was a practice session, so I could practice some better driving, but also see how the camera went. There was a few glitches that you saw just a few seconds ago, but overall pretty good. Here I am catching up to this dude, and the lady in the white there is my wife. Let's go past my wife here. See her beautiful? Round we go. Now I've got to chase this guy down. On my good laps, I was about a second quicker than this guy. I pieced together a couple of good corners here and there, but do let myself down a little bit. But I do catch up to him eventually. Made a bit of a mistake there. Here I come. Right on his tail there. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake by me, but I came up to it. You can see that glitch a little bit. I hope that's just something I can fix easily. Maybe it's like a faulty card or something like that. Hopefully it's not something to do with the camera. Got a good run out of here. I think he'd figured out how to do that corner by the end of this session. I do this corner a little better than him though, get a bit more speed coming out here. Catch up a bit more there again. Goes a bit wide there. Right on his tail now. Force a mistake, there's a mistake, up I go. Oh, bit of bumpity, sorry mate. I'm in front. So now here, this is, like I said, this is the end of the session. So I've got about a lap or so where I don't really have anyone in front of me. This lady I passed pretty quick. There we go. And then I've got probably one full lap at full speed, and then we cut the session short. So there we go. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. If you liked it, smash that like button, or, you know, just press it. If you want to just press it, that's okay too. Subscribe if you're enjoying this content. I will be putting more out. I will be doing more events next year. So it should be great. Thanks.